Organic reach on Facebook is lower than it's ever been before. If you run a page or contribute to a page on Facebook, you know what I'm talking about. You'll put something up, you think it's great content, you spend time on it, and then the engagement numbers just aren't there, even if you have a big following on Facebook. One of the ways to combat this is to use Facebook's advertising tools and pay a little bit of money to actually get in front of the people who have already said they want you to be in front of them. That's why today's Create Smarter is going to be all about how to boost a post on Facebook. The simple reality of running a Facebook page today is that you have to pay to play a little bit. It's not what it used to be. People flocked to Facebook when it first opened up to marketers because it was free. People built audiences, you got tons of people on board with your page and your product, but then what happened is too many people got on board and news feeds became too crowded and you just couldn't get in front of people anymore. Facebook also started prioritizing ads as a way to make money. Their ad revenue is absolutely through the roof. That's how Facebook is the giant company that it is today. Engagement is great and it's really important and it's a priority for Facebook, and when you get it, it's helpful, but it's not the only thing. When you first signed up for Facebook 5, 10, 15, however many years ago as a brand, it was a lot different. You went on the platform and you built up a following and a page, and people liked your page and they opted in to see your content, and then when you posted, they saw it. That's not really how it works anymore. There are too many brands on Facebook, there are too many people posting on Facebook, so in order to cultivate a news feed, basically what Facebook does is they use this proprietary algorithm that they've developed to say, this person is going to see this content at this time, and when I go on Facebook and sign on, even if I'm opted into like your page, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to see the content that you post at a given time. One thing you can do to make it a little more likely that the people who have opted into like your page will actually see the things you post is boost your post using Facebook's advertising tools. Let's show you how to get started with that right now. Okay, so for the sake of this demo, we're going to use a test page that we've created at 5 Tool Productions for the sake of things like this, walking through and testing features on Facebook, creating tutorials, etc. So you'll notice it's kind of a blank slate, but it doesn't really matter. We're logged in here as an admin to the page, just like you'll likely be for whatever page it is you'd like to boost a post for. So the process to boost a post is actually, in essence, very simple. So let's just take a look at actually what it takes to go from posting to boosting very simply. So let's use just a photo that we have saved on our computer here that we want to create a post and then boost. A nice photo here of Quincy, the town in which we're based, and loving our hometown. We're going to post that up. We're going to click publish. You can see there's a boost option there, so you can do that as you post, but you can also publish and then boost, which is what I generally like to do. Once it's published, you can see the boost option is there right underneath the post that you've selected, and then you go into boost, and there's tons of different options in here that you're going to want to pay attention to. The first thing we want to look at here is the objective. Facebook tries to lay this out for you fairly simply so that you can't get lost in the process and you can achieve the goals you want to pretty easily. So you can see the default here is engagement, reactions, comments, and shares. The basic thing that a lot of people are looking for on Facebook. When you click on what's this, it'll kind of show you a little bit more in terms of changing the objective. You can also change it to messages to engage and chat with potential customers. Once you change it there, it'll change some of the things that happen in the ad format overall. It'll also give you some potential other options depending on what you choose. Generally, what you're going to be looking to do is engagement. That's what most people are looking for. That's generally what you're looking to do when you boost a post. Beyond the objective, there's a lot of different things you can do inside of this boost module that are going to impact what actually happens once you pay for this and click boost. One of these is adding a button to your post, and you can see that there's a lot of different options here. A lot of times, the one that you're going to end up going with is going to be learn more, right? And that's simply just going to allow you to put in a URL, directing people to a page on your website where they can learn more about this. There's also an option for sign up. This would be if you were promoting something specifically that involved, lead gen, or, it was an event or there was a webinar involved and you wanted to sign up. This is pretty intuitive as well, but basically you're going to want to pick the one that's correct for your objective and then enter the URL. Beyond this is targeting. We're going to get to targeting in a little bit. First and foremost, just wanted to talk through these basic kind of tools, the things you need in order to get this going. One of the things you need to keep in mind when you're creating content that you think you might use in advertisements on Facebook is the images. First and foremost, obviously, you want these to be eye-catching and engaging so that when someone scrolls through the feed, they want to stop and look at what you've posted. Just as important, though, are Facebook's restrictions on images when it comes to text. Basically, what it boils down to is that text can't cover 20% or more of your image if it's going to be used in an advertisement. That means that my name can't be in big letters on the image if I'm going to use it in a post. Let's take a look at some examples of what could and couldn't work as good images for boosted posts now.
First, we want to share with you an image that would not work with Facebook's advertising tools. You'll see here we've created a simple image that has our URL on the screen. It doesn't really matter what the text is. It's the simple fact that the image has text added to it that covers 20% or more of the image. You'll get a warning for this when you go to boost it. You'll see when I click boost here, you'll get a warning. Your ad's reach may be lower. In reality, your ad may not run at all if you try to go through this process. There's some information here that you can look at. There's a whole page here about text in ad images. This is not a problem that is going to be unique to you. A lot of people run into this. Facebook's 20% rule, I'm sure it's based on data. It might seem arbitrary, but that's where they draw the line. They give you some examples of things that would work and that would actually get through. There are exceptions if there's text, on a book cover that you're advertising. You can apply for exceptions when it comes up, but generally you can't just create images that have tons of text on them. There is a tool that Facebook provides you to upload an image and test it before you get into the boosting process to see how it would work. I'll show you, the one that we used for this one. When you have image text medium, which is what it says that we have here, your ad's reach may be lower. If you have image text that runs up to high, your ad may not run. So you can run it through this text check kind of system to see where your image lies on the spectrum of Facebook's okay to not okay rating, and then you'll kind of know whether or not you can use it in an image. A good rule of thumb is to include not too much text at all. Here's another post, a sample post that we've created, just an image. The general good rule of thumb is to try to just, be thoughtful about the copy you use in the post itself, because that's going to show up in your ad, as well as the call to action that you want to include in the advertising tool, whether it's learn more or sign up or whatever it is. So you really want to use the tools that are given to you as opposed to trying to do the work in the image itself, because it's just not going to work as well for you.
Probably the most important part of a boosted post is thinking about your audience. Basically, who do you want to serve this ad to once it's out in the newsfeed? There's a lot of different tools here and a lot of options, but it doesn't have to be intimidating. It's actually pretty straightforward. It's pretty intuitive. Really what you want to avoid doing is just clicking through really aggressively and just getting to the end. You can do it in about 2 seconds, but that shouldn't be the way you approach this. You want to be really thoughtful about who this ad is going to be in front of, because ultimately you don't want to waste your money. Let's look a little bit at the targeting options now.
One of the most powerful things about Facebook advertising is the audience tools and the targeting that you can do in your ads. That includes boosted posts. There's a lot more that you can do than what we're going to show you here today. We're just going to show you how you can do some good, quick targeting through the Boost module itself. So when you scroll down past your call to action buttons, you'll see audience. Now, there's an option for people in your local area. This is good for businesses who are trying to attract people to come out to a physical store, those types of things. If you're based mainly online, you're probably going to look more at people you choose through targeting, and there's a lot you can dig into here. So let's take a quick look. You can go by gender targeting, you can go by age targeting, you can go by location targeting and add in a specific place that you want people to get served this ad. Then the real big part of this, to narrow it down from Facebook's giant audience, because you can see even in just Quincy, right, the Quincy area with that kind of big circle that we have here, that's 2.7 million people. That's too many for us. We want to narrow that down. You can search for terms such as marketing, which is a big one for us often because that's some of the target market that we're looking for. And you can see here, Facebook's going to suggest some different things for us. A lot of these are going to be interests, but as you scroll through the suggestions, you'll see it doesn't stop there. There's other things included in here like job titles, employers, field of study. There's tons of different options here. And as you kind of start clicking through and you say someone who's just interested in marketing, that'll add it and that'll narrow down your audience really significantly. That's just one that we did right there. Beyond just kind of searching, you can also browse and you can dig into some of the things that Facebook has available for you. Demographics, education, fields of study. Dig into this and then decide where you want to go from there. These are all ways that you can narrow this down really, really specifically. You can also exclude people, so if there's specific interests you want to not serve to, you can do that as well. So there's a lot that you can do within creating a custom audience right there. Another part of this, that's just if you want to choose people through targeting for this one ad. I mentioned Ads Manager. You can actually create an audience using the same types of tools, but then save it so that you can go back and use it again later, which is a really useful tool if you're going to be doing a lot of advertising through Facebook.
The other end of this whole process is measurement. Facebook has some excellent tools for insights for your posts on a daily basis, as well as they do for advertisements, and you really should be making the most of them all the time. Does a video perform better than an image? Does text perform better when it's short or when it's long? What do people like? What do people share? What do they comment on? These are all the things you really should be keeping an eye on every day, because every page and every post is different, and your audience is going to be different than a competitor's audience even. So you really want to keep an eye on this all the time. You especially want to keep an eye on it when you're thinking about boosted posts and advertisements. You want to make sure your ROI is there, and you want to make sure next time you want to boost a post, you can make the case for why it works and why it's important. Let's take a look at some of the insights right now.
Again, we're on a test page for this. There's not going to be any actual data to look for because we don't actually promote this page, but it'll give you a sense of where to find your insights and what to look for once you're there. So you can see right at the top of your page, again, if you're just on your page as an admin, you can see Insights. Open that up and you pop right in, and you can see it's going to load up your data. There's going to be kind of an executive summary here, which you can export. There's a specific tab here for promotions, which once you have promotions is going to show you all of the different things that you've paid to promote, whether it's ads or boosts or anything like that. You can also review all of your posts, any videos you've gone through, and really get into detail in terms of how much reach each individual post had, how much reach your ads had, how many clicks they had, what kind of engagement they got in terms of shares and comments. And you can start to get a sense for what's working and what's not, and really iterate based on that. The good thing is you can always see the difference between paid reach and paid engagement versus your unpaid, your organic. So you can show the value of how far $10 or $25 goes and make the case for more budget later on.
All right, that's it. Hopefully now you're ready to go out and boost some posts and actually get the content you're posting on Facebook in front of the people who said they want to see your content on Facebook. This should be helpful for you, especially, if you don't have huge budgets. This is really a way to make a little bit of money go a really long way. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions or you need help with this, you can always email us here at 5tool Productions. We love talking about this stuff and we're happy to help. We'll see you next time on Create Smarter.